you're a citizen, you're a free man. It's not just that the police aren't cracking down on these sort of paramilitary groups. You know, that classic image of the police delivering Tim Hortons coffee to Navida Wen and his thugs who were blocking a residential neighborhood because there were too many Jews living there. Just think about that. But I want to show...
But there's an example. I covered that story. That was on the front page of the Sun. All these stories that we have covered, but most of the media haven't covered them. The Toronto Sun has been outstanding, I think.
It's true.
You know, from all the
Toronto Sun has been the best newspaper in Canada on this issue. I think you're standing with your principles.
You know what? If you look at the Toronto Sun from Adrian Batcher, from the editor-in-chief, you know, to Warren Kinsella, who's, you know, kind of been a liberal his whole life, but he's been really, really good on this issue. Brian Lilly, who, you know, you would know well here at Rebel. They've all gone at it from the point of view that we're not going to listen to all this nonsense and we're going to cover the story. And no, you know, there's no agenda. You just go out and cover it. And that's what we've done.
I have to agree with you. I want to show you, you mentioned one thing. I want to make sure our viewers saw it. I think I played a clip of this the other day. In Ottawa, Ottawa, that center block of Parliament, it's actually not being used right now. It's still under reno. So a lot of people don't know during the trucker convoy, they were protesting outside an empty building. Right. No one went into that Parliament.
There was no one in any building for 2 years before that. That's the irony of all the people saying how horrible it was.
That's right.
I looked. Yeah. I didn't see anybody. Nobody lives there either. Yeah.
So that big lawn in front of Parliament, when I was a kid, like really right out of school, I worked for a couple of years in Centre Block when Preston Manning was the leader of the Reform Party. I'm dating myself now. And right outside in the big lawn in front of Centre Block, 2 or 3 times a day, I could see out my window, 2 or 3 times a day, there was a protest. That is sort of protest central, and the police are well trained. They have all the resources they need, from the SWAT team to the regular police liaisons. And that actually was sort of a wonderful thing. It was like an unofficial opposition party every day, and you would see this side and that side. And it was right out my window when I was working there as a kid. You have probably more legal and constitutional and historic and customary rights on that patch of grass than maybe anywhere else in the land.
Before you showed the clip, I just wanted to share a personal note. Similar, when the interest rates went to 19% when I was a teenager, and I was raised by a single mom, and we were in a position where we could lose our house. Ironically, we're back to that again, you know, and it's not quite as stark as it was back in the 80s. But there was a big protest at Parliament Hill, and I went with my mom to it. That was the first time I ever saw a protest. My sister and I.
How old were you?
My mom. I was probably about 14.
Oh yeah.
And it left something with me. I remember, I saw the great columnist, I think it's Charles Lynch.
Oh yeah. After whom they now named their press theater after him.
Yeah, I saw him there, and I was pretty excited about that. I didn't know I was going to be a reporter, but I kind of approached it that way, not really from a protester point of view. I remember the next day, because I delivered the Ottawa Citizen. In those days, I lived in Ottawa. And I remember the next day on the front page, looking at the story, and, because there was the thing I was at. I thought it was so cool. But so I know exactly what you mean. And I wasn't protesting. I don't think my mom was really protesting either. She went down sort of as solidarity for the people that were kind of doing it. So yeah, that's the place. And of course, the truckers thing, which the lawn issue was part of the problem as well. There was construction going on. But anyway, go ahead. Let's see this.
Just about a week ago, someone who was not pro-Palestinian wanted to put his feet on that grass.
Right.
And the cops first asked him, well, which side are you on? Take a look at this insane footage.
Of Palestine. You are not permitted on... Yeah, that was before you admitted being against this cause over here.
You never said he was against this cause.
Yeah, you did. You said he's not a supporter of Palestine and doesn't recognize Palestine as a state.
No, I didn't say that.
But do we want to rewind the video and see?
Well, there's no audio in the actual camera.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. But no.
Well,
so you said it.
Camera, you
so
can't play it
you said it to me. My colleague understood.
Yeah,
And
I said I don't
clearly,
accept Palestine as a state. That doesn't mean I'm anti-Palestinian people.
you don't recognize, and you said you don't support Palestine. Okay?
I don't
So-
recognize Palestine as a state.
You said if he took the
You
shoes.
told me if I were to take the shirt off, I could come in. All I
Well,
want to
that
do
was
is get in the-
before you changed your story
Well, all
to
I
I
wanna
don't
do-
support
well,
Palestine and I
look-
don't recognize Palestine as a state.
Look, I'm
And so-
not wearing
hold
anything
on.
that's inflammatory.
Hold on.
And I just
Hold
want to
on.
do interviews.
Hold on. Then at the end, right before I left, I said, you are not to go on this side. Right?
No,
This
you
is
said
a clear
I'm not
free
to go
speech,
on-
That was before.
infringement
Then-
of free speech.
Then after, no, I'm not. You
Yeah,
can
this
do that on that
is very
side.
tyrannical.
You can believe that if you wish.
Well, it
You want
is.
to come up on Parliament Hill? Other side.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Well, that's how they do it in Iran. That's exactly how they do it there in North Korea and in China. You can't do that way. The police work for the government. They don't work. You mentioned in Davos how you could do all those interviews, but that's kind of the muscle that's used there. And the Ottawa police are really politicized. I mean, we saw that so many times. I mean, I'm still talking about the police trampling. I did that story for the Toronto Sun. And it wasn't even up for more than half an hour when all the phone calls were going to all the executives and that. They're saying, that's not a trampling. That's not a trampling. And I kept looking at it going, yeah, it's a trampling.
Yeah.
And I said to my editors, it's a trampling. We got to tell the truth. You can't sugarcoat what it was. Now, there's still one guy missing in that too. I've never ever been able to find out what happened, and I've watched the video closely. My old friend Ross McLean is the old cop there. He really studied it, and it looks like the horse landed right center of mass there.
Yeah.
If not, it was very close. And there was, I what I'm getting at is I don't know what happened to that person.
Yeah.
I know there was an ambulance call around the same time, and we've never been able to find it. It must have been a police officer, I figure, undercover, and it's no one's business. And maybe they just wanted to get out of there, whether hurt or not hurt, and just kind of transition back into the real world. I assume that. I believe that. But you notice how that's never happened. Now, in this case here with this clip, I'm anxious to see what you have to say, but I'm not comfortable with it because it's irrelevant what a police officer thinks, what I'm doing there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, in my case, what happened was that, I was down at the very, it was October 8th or so. And I was videoing the thing, and there's all kinds of people breaking a lot of rules. Israel hadn't done anything in response. So there's no
Right.
excuse.
Oh, the celebrations from the Navada ones and the other anti-Semites started when they saw the horrific terrorism. You're right, Israel did not respond for days or even weeks in a substantive way.
Right, and I was taking a video of this, a young employer, and I didn't see anybody, and you can see in the clip where somebody comes, it's a police officer, and he hits me really right here, pretty hard.
And is there footage of that?
I have footage of it, which, we can show the footage of that. And it concerned me because, I was startled by it because all the police officers, a lot of them know me.
Yeah.
They know what I was doing. But what bothered me was that I was the guy that was getting harassed by the police.
Yeah.
Everybody else there was breaking the law. They were up on the building. They were putting up Roman candles, all these things. But the one guy that was, and it worked out okay. They left me alone. I don't know why the guy did it. And I didn't pursue it, and I'm not going to pursue it. Stuff happens out there. But I'm not upset about it now. I was for a couple of minutes because I was kind of hurt. It hurts when you get hit there.
Oh, sure.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. No, you don't touch me. Don't ever touch me. I'm Joe Warmington from the Toronto Sun. I'm going to stand here. And if you touch me again,
Just behind, on the
no,
sidewalk.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm doing my job. You just leave me alone.
Do your job. On the sidewalk.
Joe, I have an interest in this because I've followed the Middle East for a long time, just out of interest. I'm also Jewish, and I've been to Israel, and I'm pro-Israel. So sometimes I think, well, am I just concerned about this because I'm a Jew? And I think, no, I think I would be concerned if there was another group that was being targeted with weekly hate marches so thinly veiled. Like when they say there is only one solution, intifada, revolution. Intifada is an Arabic word meaning a riot.
Right.
And when they say from the river to the sea, Israel will be free, and they have various versions of that in English and Arabic. They're talking about ethnically cleansing every Jew from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. Some of them try and disguise their language by talking about Zionists instead of Jews.
Yeah, that's the...
But to me, that would be like saying, I don't hate Italians. I just hate Italy. Well, Italians, or I don't hate the French people. I just hate France and everything to do with France, and not all French people like France. That's an insane thing to say. Like Zion it's a place, it's part of the Bible. It's sort of the ancestral home of the Jewish people. So these are little fig leaves. What would I say if there was this hatred towards another? And I don't need to be crazy and say hatreds towards Italians, but what if they went after blacks this way and say, I don't hate black people. Go ahead.
Any group, blacks.
I would like to think I would be on the side of the people being beat up.
But but the fact that you're Jewish and that you're sort of wrestling with that, you're allowed to feel however you want to feel. And I know we're going to talk about the Mayor Chow thing in a moment, but that's part of who you are, and you would be right. Now the fact that non-Jewish people are offended, whether it's myself or Warren Kinsella or Brian Lilly, etc., is because we are people that cover Canada, and that's happening. Mm-hmm. If that was Muslims that were being treated like that, we would be there.
Yeah.
You would be there.
Yeah. Oh, hi, it's Ezra Levant here in Toronto with an important message because we need your help. Independent journalism in Canada is under attack. Government censors, big tech deplatformers, and the dying legacy media are all working together to maintain exclusive control on the information you receive. They don't want you to hear other voices like ours, and they really don't want you to be informed and to think for yourself. That's why the work we do here at Rebel News is so important. Our on-the-ground reporting, independent news shows, and special content you won't find anywhere else. It's all designed to give you trustworthy information and alternative viewpoints so you can decide for yourself. We don't get government money, and we are not owned by some big global conglomerate. We're funded by people just like you, so please support independent journalism and help us continue our work by subscribing and becoming a Rebel News Plus member today, right here on the page. Go to rebelnewsplus.com. Members get instant access to all of our shows, invitations to exclusive events, and access to our premium content like live event footage and documentaries you won't see anywhere else. Only Rebel News Plus members can join the conversation by participating in the comments section of our new website. That way you can have your say too. More than anything, though, you'll be able to take pride in supporting real, honest journalism, and you'll help our talented team continue to do the work to push back on the establishment. We really can use your help. We need it, in fact. So thank you, and enjoy Rebel News Plus. Oh, hi, it's Ezra Levant here in Toronto with an important message because we need your help. Independent journalism in Canada is under attack. Government censors, big tech deplatformers, and the dying legacy media are all working together to maintain exclusive control on the information you receive. They don't want you to hear other voices like ours, and they really don't want you to be informed and to think for yourself. That's why the work we do here at Rebel News is so important. Our on-the-ground reporting, independent news shows, and special content you won't find anywhere else. It's all designed to give you trustworthy information and alternative viewpoints so you can decide for yourself. We don't get government money, and we are not owned by some big global conglomerate. We're funded by people just like you, so please support independent journalism and help us continue our work by subscribing and becoming a Rebel News Plus member today, right here on the page. Go to rebelnewsplus.com. Members get instant access to all of our shows, invitations to exclusive events, and access to our premium content like live event footage and documentaries you won't see anywhere else. Only Rebel News Plus members can join the conversation by participating in the comments section of our new website. That way you can have your say too. More than anything, though, you'll be able to take pride in supporting real, honest journalism, and you'll help our talented team continue to do the work to push back on the establishment. We really can use your help. We need it, in fact. So thank you, and enjoy Rebel News Plus.